Hey everyone, it's Triple Mango Threat. This series is all about mango decks. Mango decks are built with each card less than the price of a mango in the US, which is 98 cents. The commander is not included in the mango deck pricing, but the rest of the 99 cards will all be 98 cents or less based on the TCG price. So you can imagine the challenge of making a mango deck would be. I can't wait to show you what I built. Let's jump right into the episode. Hey everyone, it's Triple Mango Threat. This is the second episode of the Mango Deck series. Today we're talking about an insane deck that loves combat with non-human creatures. And if you stay till the end of the video, there's going to be upgrades for the deck and you won't want to miss it. So getting into the deck, our commander is Winota, Joiner of Forces. She costs 2, a red and a white. She's a 4/4 and she says, whenever a non-human creature you control attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may put a human creature card from among them onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. It gains indestructible until end of turn. Put the rest of the cards on the bottom of your library in a random order. An important thing to mention is when a creature enters the battlefield with our commander's ability, it won't trigger the cards that say, whenever this creature attacks, or trigger our commander's ability again. The reason why is because in order for the trigger to work, it needs to be declared as an attacker at the beginning of our combat. Now, starting with the mana rocks we're going to need is Boros Cluestone, Keyrune, Locket, and Signet. It's hard in red and white to ramp, so having these mana rocks is really going to help us in that area. And we have ways to get lands with Cartographer's Hawk, Explorer's Scope, and Traveler's Amulet. It is possible to ramp in white, believe it or not, but as you see with Cartographer's Hawk, you have to meet the requirements of dealing combat damage to an opponent, and they have to have more lands than you. And then you have to return Cartographer's Hawk to your hand again. And it has to be a Plains card. Yeah, if you want to ramp, you really have to suffer when it comes to red and white. When it comes to the removal of the deck, we have Banisher Priest, Crush Contraband, Forsake the Worldly, and Frontline Medic. A unique thing to do in white is to counter a spell, which is usually a blue thing to do. We can sacrifice Frontline Medic to counter a spell with X in it, and the controller will have to pay an additional 3 mana for it not to be countered. This is an interesting thing because it's like an ongoing threat reducer. Our opponent won't spend all their mana on their X spell because now we can counter it if they don't pay. This is a powerful thing to do to our opponent. Moving on to the board wipes, we have Cleansing Nova, Dusk and Dawn, Hour of Reckoning. I really like Cleansing Nova in the deck, and it happens to cost 1 more than Wrath of God. But for 5 mana we get to destroy all creatures or artifacts and enchantments. And I would say 1 mana is totally worth it for that versatility. Hour of Reckoning will be in our favor actually. Our tokens will be non-human creatures that will trigger our commander, and we get more humans from our deck with them. The card draw in the deck consists of Cathartic Reunion, Faithless Looting, Thrill of Possibility, and Tormenting Voice. We can draw cards by discarding, which initially may seem bad, but in red, card draw by itself isn't a thing. The cost is you pay with your cards to get more options. Furious Rise and Outpost Siege. Red does, however, love to exile its cards and lets us play them for a certain amount of time. Red is all about the here and now, so if you don't seize the opportunity, you miss them. Mentor of the Meek. This is the best card draw in the deck. We can pay 1 mana, and whenever a power 2 or less creature comes into play under our control, we can draw a card. This is very likely with all the tokens we'll be making as well. So we'll need to make a lot of non-human creatures to attack with. Let's talk about Blade Splicer, Captain of the Watch, Evangel of Heliod, and Geist Honored Monk. These creatures are all human, but they make non-human tokens, which we can later use to trigger our commander's ability and get even more humans on our battlefield. Falconer Adept, Goblin Assault, Krenko 10 Street Kingpin, and Silverwing Squadron. When these creatures attack, they make tokens, and this can be a repeated effect because they're not just a one-time thing. We will continue to attack with them to reap the benefits. Some great cards we have in the deck are buffs, like Gold Knight Commander and Valor of Akros. These cards help us do a ton of damage. We have creatures enter the battlefield all the time, so we can easily get our creatures huge and deal our opponents unexpected amounts of damage and accidentally kill them in the process. If we want to reduce the amount of spells cast, we have to have Deafening Silence and Rule of Law. These spells make it to where we limit the number of spells each player plays down to 1 spell. This can be really devastating to our opponents. Not so much us though. We get the majority of our creatures from our commander's ability, so having these cards won't hurt us as much as you'd think. Now if you're wanting to upgrade your deck, here are the upgrades. Inspiring Vantage, Sacred Foundry, Rugged Prairie, and Clifftop Retreat. Upgrading the lands for the deck can help it run faster and more efficiently. I would have to replace the lands for Boros Garrison, Boros Guildgate, Windscarred Crag, and Stone Quarry. You're probably wondering why I didn't replace these lands with the basic lands. I did this because our basic lands enter untapped, and the new lands you'll be adding have the potential to enter untapped as well, which is better than the ones we're replacing. They enter tapped no matter what. Goblin Rabblemaster. He makes a token every turn with haste, and that token triggers our commander. I would have to put in Goblin Rabblemaster for Pia Nalar. She costs the same mana, but she only makes the one token when she enters. Making a token every turn would be more valuable to the deck, and it's for the same converted mana cost. Loyal Apprentice. This gets us a token every turn during our combat, and that token has haste. I would have to put in Loyal Apprentice for Mog War Marshal. They both have the same converted mana cost, and instead of one-time instances with Mog War Marshal, we'll be getting a token every turn. Combat Celebrant. This is going to get us an additional combat step if we exert him, and it's really good for the deck. The more combat steps, the more triggers we'll be getting from our commander, which is already overpowered. I would have to put Combat Celebrant in for Hanged Executioner. They have the same CMC, but getting those additional combat steps has a lot more potential to get us more damage dealt to our opponents and more triggers from our commander. The last upgrade we have is Elspeth, Sun's Champion. Her +1 makes 3 1/1 soldier tokens. Her -3 is a board wipe for power 4 or greater. This does hit our commander, but her ultimate has an emblem with creatures you control get +2/+2 and have flying. She is a great upgrade for the deck with just her +1, but the other abilities are sweet too. I would have to put in Elspeth for Urbis Protector. Urbis Protector gets us a 4/4 angel when he enters, which is a one-time effect. They both cost 6 CMC, but Elspeth makes 3 1/1 soldier tokens, and that's 3 separate triggers with our commander, and it's a repeatable effect. She is just really awesome in this deck. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to purchase the deck, please use the TCG link below. It really helps out the channel. I also have the upgraded deck if you'd like to purchase that instead. If you like this video, be sure to hit that like button, comment below what you thought of the second episode of the Mango Deck series, and subscribe if you want to see more Mango content, which means more budget deck techs for you. We are currently at 445 subscribers on our way to 500. We would love to have you join the Mango family. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.